Hey guys, welcome back to more great JRPGs that sadly nobody played. 5 of them as usual, and why is it that nobody played them? Well, for various different reasons that we'll see today. So let's begin! Number 5, the longest 5 minutes. This looks like an indie RPG, but nope, it's not. It's just a love letter to 8 and 16-bit classics with a twist. You control a party of heroes in a quest to defeat the demon lord who's brought some dark mist to the world. It's called the longest 5 minutes because the game starts you at the final battle that's taking 5 minutes, but the protagonist can't seem to remember anything. So you'll be playing through a few seconds of dialogue and battle first, then you'll be taken to flashbacks so the protagonist can remember everything. Rinse and repeat. These will be your long fleshed out missions in a traditional RPG style of gameplay, you know, visiting different towns, overworld, random encounters, turn-based battles, yeah. Everything works fast and great with no balancing issues, fun combat that's easy to understand with up to 4 characters, each learning different magics and skills. The graphics are beautiful, you'll appreciate them more if you grew up playing retro games. The music is fantastic, with several themes that are quite memorable, multiple tracks worth listening to outside of the game. Anyway, every time you complete a mission, or rather a chapter, you'll be taken back to the final boss battle to do more damage to him, thanks to recovering a few memories. So it's classic, yeah, but not exactly unique, right? The little story twist, which connects directly to its gameplay, makes it special. The reason why nobody played it is probably because of its name. I mean, no one will ever think it's an RPG. Also because of its release, crushed between several other successful games. Back when NIS America wasn't great at advertising, it still kinda isn't. Plus, it's not on the PS4. But you know what? It's on Switch, Steam, and even the PS Vita, so definitely check this game out. Number 4, Grandia Extreme. Check out this extreme game. It's called that because it's a hardcore Grandia game, but with a self-contained story. With questionable English dub too, by the way, Dean Cain voicing the main character. Yeah. Despite belonging to a well-known and established series, nobody seems to have played it, probably because it was published by Enix right before they merged with Squaresoft. Also, no European release. No numbered title, which made people believe it was a spin-off or something. Well, it was, but it's still great, especially if you're a fan of the battle mechanics the series is known for. So you control Evan, a ranger who gets hired by the army to activate special technology in different ruins. Accompanied by other characters that are engineers or soldiers, Evan will traverse through these ruins full of classic Grandia puzzles, most of them being about unlocking the door to get the item that unlocks another door or activates a switch, yeah, those. No town-to-town exploration exists, as there's only one, which will also be your base of operations. Battles are like in the other games. You have 4 allies, their enemies, and the battle gauge, the one that shows you whose turn is next. You can use different types of attacks to delay the enemy's turn or cancel their actions, but you know it, you gotta time your decisions right. So yeah, the combat is the same as in Grandia 2, since your characters also move around on their own before and after they execute their actions. Problem is, the game's a big grind fest as it is very hard, just like its title implies. Maybe that's what put a lot of gamers off, since this game was basically aimed at hardcore players. But trust me, this is great, recommended, worth playing, but especially if you're a Grandia fan already. Number 3, Tonelico, Koga, Nell of Arshiel. Yes, that's how the name's pronounced. Nobody played it because, for starters, the first 2 games on PS2 are still kind of obscure, so imagine this Black Sheep sequel. It is the 3rd entry in the series, only on PS3, and a direct sequel to the 2nd game. It's not that direct though, you don't have to play Tonelico 2 before, but it is highly recommended. It's a Black Sheep because Ghost made the mistake of going action instead of turn-based like a certain other company with a certain other series. So they basically imitated the Tales series for the battle mechanics. we'll get to those. Anyway, Aoto lives in a country ruled by Ravatales, which are girls with strong singing magic power. He'll start a journey with other characters after getting dragged into a possible war, basically a rebellion against his own country called Clostania. So like in the other two games, you'll traverse different areas to get to various towns. So yeah, the gameplay is traditional, but like I mentioned, combat is hack and slash. 3 characters can fight against various enemies, but you have to prevent them from approaching your Ravatale, one of various girls who will join your party. She's casting song magic that can be used for attacks or buffs, and its levels increase as you do more damage, but decrease if she gets hurt. They lose layers of clothes for every level increased? Yeah, but you don't have to get to the max level. You can just use her magic spell after one, but of course you want to use the max in the boss battles. Anyway, so that's the battle system. Like in the other games, you'll have your small visual novel conversations with the girls to increase your bonds with them and unlock more song magics. This leads to a different ending depending on the girl you bonded with the most. You can also dive into their subconsciousness and play through more visual novel segments, making decisions every now and then that use points, also leading to more bonding and unlocking more song magic. This is still a solid game, worth playing. It's just that everyone, including me I admit, thinks it should have remained turn-based. But you know what, if you can overlook that and get past that, trust me, you'll have a good time. Number 2, Brave Story: New Traveler. I haven't talked about this game in a long time. It's a turn-based RPG, which is also a bit on the traditional sense, which means in terms of gameplay, it's another one of those town to town with an overworld, random encounters, a different ally joining every now and then, etc. It's about a kid from modern day and age who wants to save his sick childhood love interest from an incurable disease. He gets a chance though to go to a fantasy world where he can find a cure. So that's exactly what he does. I mean, why wouldn't he? Wouldn't you go to a fantasy world full of dangers to save your love interest? Actually, this game is a sequel to a book that also has an anime adaptation, but no game, which I found strange. Why make a sequel to a book and anime in the form of an RPG? Anyway, the music and graphics in this game are decent, but I like the visual style it has, which was innovative for its time. Now, let me explain the battle mechanics here. It's classic turn-based, but everyone has some accessories that unlock some skills unique to them called Brave Souls. Actually, to unlock them properly, the characters need to have gone through story development so the events can make them brave enough to use them. There's also Bravura attacks, which are unique character skills, and Unity attacks, basically a combination between some of them. Yeah, it's cool. This is a game that is quite balanced, no nasty spikes, no frustrating areas, no BS. However, I think nobody played it because it isn't talked about often nowadays, but also because it was published by Exit Games back in 2007 when all the attention was on the PS3. Besides, it was never released in Europe. As of the making of this video, this is an exclusive to the PSP. Number 1, Tales of the Tempest. Well, it's a tradition that the first place in this video series goes to an only in Japan game, but fan translated. It's been in English for over a decade, so anybody can play it. There are various reasons why no one played this RPG. First, because only in Japan. 2, because exclusive to the DS. Its brothers Innocence and Hearts got a remake on PS Vita, but not this one. And third, because it got very mixed reviews in Japan and it became kind of a black sheep in the series. It's also a very short game, beatable in about 15 hours or so. Well, I still think it's great, not one of the best in the series, but great nevertheless. Plot is a very interesting one about Caius, from a werewolf race, believe it or not, whose family has been kidnapped by an evil church. So he joins other unfortunate characters to get them back and fight the very same church. The gameplay is traditional like in any other Tales game with decent graphics for a DS game and music by Motoi Sakuraba. Actually, some themes are great like the regular battle theme. Speaking about combat, it's the linear motion battle system. It plays normally with regular controls, but as you can see, characters and enemies move between 3 layers, or rather 3 planes. Also, certain actions like healing or item usage are controlled by using the DS touchscreen with the stylus. Despite these limitations, this isn't a difficult game, it's still challenging, but honestly, it's more on the easy side of things. Besides, because of the 3 planes, you can evade more easily and attack enemies on both sides. Every other classic Tales feature is there, including cooking. So, okay, sure, it's not the best Tales game, and I doubt it's anyone's favorite, but it's still worth checking out if you give it a chance with an open mind. And those were 5 more great JRPGs that nobody played. Check them out if you can. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!